Hello and welcome back to Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous. We are finally out of Gargoyle Hell and we're back to our camp. And what do we need to do? Well, there are many things we need to do. We need to talk to all of our companions because a major event has happened and I'm sure they all have things to tell us. We also need to potentially find a spy in our camp, or at least I want to speak to Nura and ask why she had fire when the fire was used to tell the gargoyles where our camp was. Seems awfully suspicious. And then, I also want to read all the books we've got. But before we do all of that, we have to level up our companions. Some of them need levels and mythic levels, which is quite a lot. In fact, just the 3 of them we've got need levels and mythic levels. So Abyssal, let's start with you. Do we take a point in Cleric? Seems rather sensible to take another point in Cleric. I don't really see a reason to switch. The only reason we would switch from Cleric is if we wanted to take something that then allowed him to keep getting his Cleric levels, but I don't think there's anything down there for him. What are the things that we could give him? So we couldn't give him that one because he doesn't have arcane spells, he can't be a monk, can't be a Hell Knight or Signifier because he's got the wrong stuff going on there. Stalwart Defender, if I gave him dodge he can almost get that, but I don't think this actually allows him to get spells, so not good. Ability to cast Arcane, doesn't have. Paladin can't do. Assassin can't do. Arcane Trickster well off. Lore Master, Dragon Disciple. It's not that far away from that, but he needs Arcane spells, actually, which is the main problem. Yeah, he doesn't actually have any... Like, he's not close to any of these, really. Which is fine. We'll leave him as he is. I'm just checking we don't have a Prestige class already unlocked. I don't believe that we do. Okay, cool. We'll leave him as a Cleric. So, what do we want to give him? Wisdom probably seems good. It gives him a buff to a bunch of things. It also gives him more spells. Yeah, seems good for just now. Gives him an extra level 1 spell right now. But it is also the last one that he has, which gives him just a bonus for a single point. So, seems worth it. Skill-wise, Perception, Religion, and Persuasion seem like good ones for him. And then, that's him. Yeah, and he gets Holy Lance at this level. As a swift action, he can give this weapon the Holy Special Weapon quality. Okay, neat. Now we do his Mythic one. Now for Mythic, what did we give him at first level? Domain Zealot. You can use the abilities of your domain as a swift action. Okay, cool. Now we could give him the stuff in here that then allows... We could give him, where is it? Enduring spells, so that next level he can then get the greater enduring spells, which is a very good buff one. In terms of other options for we don't really have too many other things that are that good. Channeling is okay, I suppose. I really do like the enduring spells one though, when it works. Yeah, he doesn't really have anything else I want. We could give him another domain, which would go well with his abundant... What was it called? Domain Zealot. Which would then mean that you could have even more swift actions to do. But I think enduring spells probably makes a lot more sense. Yeah. Even though it's not going to do a lot this level, it might do more next level. And I don't really feel like we're bringing Solacel along anyway. So him being weak right now doesn't really matter that much. Right. Ember. Ember, well, you're going to continue to be a witch. Probably, because that gets you a hex and 4th level spells. Which is good. Was I moving you towards anything? No, I'm like, I can't remember my previous talking about her. I don't believe that I was. No. Don't think I was doing this, although she's neutral good, so can't do that. Is almost there, but would need divine spells. Yeah, I think we're fine with her. I think we just leave her as a witch. Yeah, okay. Dragon Disciple is one that we could potentially give her, but doesn't seem like it's a sensible one, so yeah, we'll stick with witch. That's fine. 1 point. So charisma makes sense for her. We could give her strength to remove the strength negative to her, which would be all right. It would allow her to use other types of bows potentially, without a negative, which would be okay. It's not really that much better or worse. Wisdom, she doesn't really need for anything, so that's fine. Charisma is her stat though, so I mean we'll just stick with that. Skills, Persuasion, Use Magic Device, and Lore Religion. Yeah, I think those are the ones we're going for. Cool. Hex. So, what hex are we going to give her? We give her Cackle, which allows her as a move action to extend hexes that are already on. Like Protective Luck, Misfortune Hex, Evil Eye Hex. Okay. Yeah. How long does this last for? 8th level is extended by 1 round. Okay, so now that would actually work, right? So if we were to take Cackle, we could put Protective Luck on Cackle every turn, and that increases the rounds on that, so we don't have to keep reapplying it. Does it also do Ward? No, but Ward actually is on until you get hit. Never mind. Vulnerability Curse, it doesn't do. But that seems pretty good. Yeah. I quite like the idea of being able to reapply it. Seems like a neat thing. But what's this down here? Major Hexes. Oh, okay. Cool. Right, Cackle. Level 4. We don't have any level 4 spells just yet, so what are we going to take? We can take any of these. We really want her to have fire stuff, so I guess this could be good. Does this do fire damage? No, actually never mind. This does bludgeoning damage. Although it's called Volcanic, it doesn't actually have any fire involved whatsoever. It doesn't have any other fire stuff. Cape of Wasps. You summon a wasp swarm, which does not attack you. Well, that's nice. Summoning one that does attack you would seem like a particularly bad spell. Gives you partial concealment against range attacks. Any creature that takes a melee attack against you takes swarm damage. Okay. Probably not worth using, because we're not going to keep her in melee range. False Life Greater. Having extra temporary hit points is nice. You point your finger and fire a black ray of negative energy that suppresses the life force of any living creature it touches. You must make a ranged touch attack to hit. If you hit, the target gains 1d4 temporary negative levels. And they stack. Assuming the subject survives, it regains lost levels after a number of hours equal to your caster level. Okay. That doesn't seem that useful for us. It's more useful for enemies who would be attacking the player, not too useful the other way around. That uses Diamond Dust, which therefore makes it not useful. That's within touch. Death Ward. Morale bonus against death spells and immune to energy drain. That's kind of useful. Yeah. 30-foot cone. Invisible Cone of Despair causes great sadness in all the subjects. -2 penalty on attack rolls, saving throws, ability checks, and skill checks. And weapon damage rolls. Okay. It dispels Good Hope. Will negate it. Confusion is will negates as well. Fear? If the will save succeeds, the target's shaken, otherwise they're frightened. That's actually very straightforward. Yeah, we might take that. Cool. Let's go with that. Now, on her, I actually just want to check something else while we're here. Also close that down. So yeah, she also hasn't had a companion quest yet. Interesting. What is Q0 or QO? Anyway, I just wanted to check what level she gets new spells at. At 10th level, she adds Fire Snake. Okay, cool. So I knew she was getting more fire spells at some point. Oh, right, yes. Also, give her yet another staff to her collection. This will allow her to cast Fireball 3 times per day as if there were an 8th level wizard. So she can switch between the different staffs depending on what we need her to do. That seems good. She does seem to be using monk weapons. Maybe we give her a point in monk at some point. I don't know. Could be good. Mythic Feat. Alright, so she doesn't need point blank mastery. School mastery. I don't know if we need that. It has the cast level increased by 1. Expanded arsenal, so we can select a school of magic. So what does this do? All your feats that apply to another school of magic also affect this one. Probably not that useful. We can remove a racial penalty to ability score. What is hers? Hers is elf, right? So it's minus to con? Yeah. Okay, well that doesn't really matter that much. Let's see what else we got. Sorceress Reflex. She can cast first spell after initiative as a swift action. Spell penetration. She probably has greater spell penetration, doesn't she? It might be the same as Nenio in that we would basically just want her to be able to hit things. So therefore that would be good. She does. I think, unfortunately, given the large amount of spell resistance, this just seems like the best option. So you got anything else in here that seems good? Nothing crazy. Witch Wandering Hex. Okay. You can make your patron give you additional powers. This lets you select any witch hex and grants you the ability to use the selected hex. Oh. Okay. That's fine. I'm just going to see what happens if I click next. Oh, okay. So I guess this is the thing that you can use it on the fly. Alright. Interesting. Yeah, the only other options here would be like enduring spells if she has a buff. I don't know if she does. Or we can get an additional Oracle Curse and it has no penalties. That could be useful, potentially. Let's exit out of here and have a look at, at her spell book. So, she doesn't really tend to buff very much. Yeah, no, so that's not going to be useful for her. At least not the way we built her. If we had a look in here, what kind of curses can we get? Demonic, so we're getting up to 5th level bonuses right now. So we don't take the negative on any of these either. So +2 in skill checks when used to intimidate or bluff. Persuasion becomes a class skill, you gain saving throws. +2 in intimidate or bluff, again. Saving throws against charm, immunity to fire. Okay. Lame. It doesn't reduce our speed. At 5th level, we're immune to being fatigued. Okay. Plagued. Immune to sickened. We get pox, pustules, which we already have. Powerless. You get uncanny dodge. Okay, but you're staggered for the first round, but we're not. Gain a +4 insight bonus on initiative checks. We can then get improved uncanny dodge and then more things there. Pranked. We get Fairy Fire to our list of spells known. We get Glitter Dust, Mirror Image. Okay, that's a lot of new spells. That could be good. Wasting. +4 competency bonus on saves made against disease. This does say we don't get any of the penalties. Yeah. Immune to sickened, but not nauseated. Immune to disease and immune to nauseated. And wolf scarred face. We gain a bite attack. We gain magic fang. Okay, probably not the way to play it. This one seems okay. These are a bunch of spells that aren't that bad. We could definitely go with that. Is there anything else that jumps out of us? So that's like we get a bunch of spells. We can attack. We can use our first spell as a swift action. Cast level increase or spell penetration. I think I'm going to take spell penetration right now, but that other one in here definitely is tempting. Although actually, wait a second, somebody did tell me about this. Oh, we could take improved abundant casting as well. We can cast 4 more spells per day of 4th, 5th, and 6th level spells. That's also very good. That actually is going far up my list of things to go for. But somebody told me that Fairy Fire is the one that we could that allows you to remove concealment. Potentially. I might take it and see what happens. We'll take pranks. Yeah, let's see what happens with that. Oh, we can actually read it here. There we go. Creatures outlined by Fairy Fire take a -20 penalty on all stealth checks. Outlined creatures do not benefit from concealment, normally provided by darkness, blur, displacement, invisibility, or similar effects. Yeah, that sounds really useful. Because concealment on that Lich really screwed us a little bit. Mirror Image is good as well. Glitter Dust is okay, and we get more spells at 10th level. Yeah, we get Confusion, and then we get Insanity as well. It's not bad. Just an extra spell selection seems good for us. Right. Next up, we have Camellia. Now, Camellia was a lot better as a melee user of things, or melee character. So we're probably going to use her in that way. Oh, she can't use the shield that I thought she could use. Oh, that's unfortunate. Anyway, back to Camellia. So she cannot. Where was I going? Yes, so she was better as a melee user. So what I'd like to do is try and make that more of her thing. I don't really want to retrain her yet. I want to kind of go with what we've got and then see whether we can make her good. But yeah, let's see. I'm just trying to figure out what we've done before on her. Ward, Ice Plant. The only thing that we've really done is point blank shot. Yeah, so apart from that, she's kind of fine to be melee. Right. Let's see what we got. So we can get improved initiative mythic. So she gains an extra 2. Point blank mythic. Oh, weapon finesse. She's able to use dex instead of strength on damage rolls. Her dex is +5. Yeah. Yeah, it seems pretty good. That would definitely make her a lot better. Also just seeing here, she does have a lot of buffs. She might be one that we want to get, yeah, she might be the one that we want to get enduring spells on. Just seeing here. Probably should put something in here, like, I don't know, maybe another one of those for just now. Just while I notice it. Yeah, she has protections as well, which would be good, although those are only 1 minute. 10 minute per level, so resist energy we could do that way. 1 hour per level, false life would then become a permanent spell, although it's, you know, temporary hit points, so it's only as permanent as you being hit by something. He doesn't have that many, actually. Yeah, I was going to say, I thought she had quite a lot, but she doesn't have that many. Magical Vestment, actually, is probably pretty good. Yeah, increases the enhancement bonus on things. Yeah, maybe. Some of these are alright. Protection from Energy Communal as well is pretty good. Although it only acts until it's discharged, but still. Could be good if we want to just apply it when we wake up. Divine Power. That's round per level, so that's not going to apply on. Stone Skin uses it uses material components, so we probably don't want that. False Life Greater. Yeah, I mean, again, it's a temporary hit point, so it only lasts as long as it lasts. Yeah, I see she doesn't have that many buffs. She has some. She definitely doesn't have 0, but she doesn't have as many as I thought she... Oh, she has these as well, I suppose. Yeah, I think we're fine with her. I think she doesn't need enduring spells. Oh, we have to do her level first. Yeah. But, I was thinking in here... Well, oh, did I... Oh, I must have done Mythic in here. Yeah, okay, because you can do it like that. Oh, okay. So this is okay for her. Definitely. She doesn't get that many buffs, so we probably don't need to switch her onto Enduring Spells. She did get Abundant Casting already. Anything else for her in here? The only other thing she gets is Second Spirit, potentially. Okay. I think that she needs the Weapon Finesse Mythic, because I think Dex being on her damage rolls is very good. I think that that's just a straightforward thing for her. Because that now means that she's doing... Yeah, a lot more damage with that, right? Or wait, did this already do it? It's got Finesse Wielding, hasn't it? Which I think does allow her to use her Dex on damage rolls. Did I quick save before that? You know what, let's quick save now and then see where we're at. I think I did quick save before that. Let's load the earlier save. Although this one might be the start of the episode. Which is fine because all we've done is level characters, so I can just level quickly. Ah, dear. Right. Let's go through here again. Yes, I do need to re-level. That's fine though. I know what I was doing. Cleric. Wisdom. 3 points. Boom. Done. Mythic. We took something in here. Took an extra mythic ability for enduring spells. There we go. Right. Ember. Stigmatized Witch. Gave her Charisma. Gave her spell, or her skills. That's the word I was looking for. Hex, we gave her Cackle. Spell-wise, we gave her Fear. Cool. Then, mythic-wise, we gave her Spell Penetration, I believe. Yeah. That's the one I think we gave her. I might be wrong, though. Oh, no, we didn't. We gave her a Pranked. Yes. I was thinking about giving her the other one. That's fine. Right. So now we're back to where we were. Quick save. I should quick save before doing upgrades like this so that I actually, yeah, spot these things and then fix them. Yeah, so that does 3 to 8. Let's see. So that does 3 to 8 right now. Do a little quick save. Can I see whether that's adding dex? No, that's adding +2. So that's adding a 0. So that must be adding strength. So maybe this was good. Maybe I didn't need to reload. So that is now adding 8 to 13. Oh, I didn't need to reload at all. Oh, well that's fine then. That was a good move. Right. Next level of Shaman for her probably. Unless we got anything else that we can work towards. No, I think this is the one that had spoilers, in case you're worried. Could get her towards Assassin. Really no reason to, but we could. Arcane Trickster doesn't really work that well, because he doesn't have arcane spells. She can't be a druid. Okay, cool. We will just keep her in this then. She gains 1 point. So this gives her... Why does she need charisma? Oh, is it because of the type of shaman she is? Why does she need wisdom? So that says it should be shaman stuff. Let me just see. What happens when I raise this? Nothing. What happens when I raise this? Like, why does she need charisma? That's what I'm missing. In here, character, abilities. So nothing there. Yep. Where is? I probably need to go to. Thinking here, probably need to go to class then. Then find her shaman class. Spirit Hunter. Okay, nothing there, nothing there. I don't know why she needs charisma. It doesn't seem to make any sense because... Yeah, I don't think she needs charisma. It doesn't seem to give her anything. Okay. Right. So let's go with that. Wisdom makes more sense, I think, because it's the one that affects her spells. Either that or we do something like a strength modifier to give her extra damage. Not that we need that, actually. We could give her dex if we just want to make her more of a dex tank as well. I guess we don't really use her spells as much, at least offensively. Let's maybe go dex. Let's try and make her tankier through having more dex. And her armor currently has a 6 dex modifier, so that seems good. Trickery and religion seem like the ones for her. Yep. Think that's right. Hex. Alright. We have a bunch of new hexes here by the looks of it. Unless, of course, I just missed the... I don't think she has that many new ones. I think she just has more available than Ember has. How about this? Battle Master. The Shaman makes an extra attack of opportunity each round. This ability stacks with the attacks of opportunity granted by Combat Reflexes feat. At 8th level, we gain a weapon specialization feat and the weapon of her choice as a bonus feat. That seems good. Yeah, we can have weapon specialization for the rapier. Yeah. And then we're at 8th level, so this makes a lot of sense. Yeah. Let's go with that. I don't think there's anything else that's that much better. So this gives us attacks of opportunity, which don't matter as much. But having the weapon specialization feat will actually matter a little bit. For the rapier. So +2 on all damage rolls you make with the selected weapon. Seems good to me. Nice. So this actually means that her damage is now 10 to 15 instead of 3 to 8. So we got a +7 on the baseline of her damage, which is fantastic. Right, we also have some loot to hand out. Now we've done the leveling up. Okay, so type in ascending order. So this is... Oh, wait, I didn't give you this? That's fine. I do like her with all of the staffs and things on her back now. It's kind of cool. Right. Let's go through everything. So flail. Nobody currently uses a flail. Alright, so therefore we don't need to worry about that. Throwing axe of silence. So throwing axes are things that are strength-based ranged weapons. Whenever it lands a hit on an enemy, they must pass a fortitude saving throw, DC 14, or lose the abilities to cast spells for 1d4 rounds. I was wondering whether that's better than our bow. 4 to 9, 2 to 9. So it does more damage than the bow. Oh, we can't use it. Well, okay. Well, that makes it an easy choice. Who can use it? Sela? I'm guessing Sela can use it. Yeah. Sela and Rijo. Rijo can't use it though because he doesn't use strength. So it means it's basically just a Sela item. It is better than her Cold Iron Masterwork Javelin I apparently have her carrying around. So I guess we'll give her that for ranged. But really she doesn't need too much of that. She also has this scythe we've had her with for a while, which she doesn't necessarily need. She's still in light, so she can carry it, but anyway. She's good with the longsword, so don't really need to change anything else there. Vicious hand axe, don't need to use. Warhammer, nobody can use. Shield. Okay. This is fine. That could be a good upgrade, but it's not really what we're going for with her. What about us? Can we use the shield? So, is one armor class less. Is not mithril, but that we don't really care about arcane spell failure chance. Whenever the wearer of this shield is hit with a touch attack, ranged or melee, that enemy suffers 2d6 force damage. It's quite nice. What's the other thing in mithril? It lowers the class, okay, for movement and other limitations. Dexterity bonuses are increased, armor check penalties are reduced. Doesn't really seem like we need to worry about any of that. So it's basically, do we want to lose one armor class for the touch attack return damage? We could do, yeah. Okay, that doesn't seem too bad to do that. Right, armor. Naturalist armor. So it's +5. So it is 5 armor class with a max of 5 dexterity. Grants a bonus against plants and vermin. Okay, it's an upgrade for him. I think it lowers his armor class, but it does give him. Well, I suppose this is actually pretty good. What's adamantine again? It gives him the damage reduction. Oh yeah, so that's much better. You don't wear armor. This would currently be okay, but your mithril chain shirt is probably better in the long run. Yeah, we don't really care about the AC against plants and vermin, I think is the problem here. You as well. You don't wear armor. Both of you are wearing heavy armor. You don't wear armor. Okay, so this is trash. Alright, con bonus belt. Sela, sure. We can't wear that because it doesn't stack with this. Okay. You already have a belt. What about us? We already have a belt of strength and dex. I don't know, I guess, yeah, you can have that belt for just now, just so somebody has it. You have 93 base health? How many does Sela have? 79? Oh, but Sela has negatives to it, right? Because of her level. Yeah, because her level's been lowered by 3. Alright, big game gloves. Oh, I was told that the gloves that we given him don't really matter. Yeah, because he already has it due to safe casting, I think it was. Safe curing, there we go. We do not provoke attacks of opportunity for spell casting. So these are actually not good for him. They should go into somebody else who has healing spells. Maybe Camellia, potentially. Yeah, I mean, it would give him concentration things, but you see more Camellia's thing. These gloves don't matter because we don't have anybody who can announce a quarry right now. Agile fists don't matter because we don't have any unarmed or natural weapon users. Amulet of Natural Armor. Suasil, continuing to get equipped here. Cloak of Resistance, +2. Congratulations, Suasil. Anybody else missing a cloak right now? Nenio should be as far away from the fighting as possible. Well, as should everybody who doesn't have a cloak right now. I'm going to give one to you. And one to Nenio. There we go. Braces of Armor +1. Guess we'll just give those to Nenio right now. It doesn't really matter. So this is the one that allows you to make your summons better. Yeah, so I think that I want to equip that like that. I'm not sure if that's the way it works. Okay, cool. We've now equipped everybody with things. Sort by type. Is that everything? That looks like everything. So, the rod allows its wielder to make ability. This rod allows the wielder the ability to make 3 spells they cast per day maximized as if using the maximize spell. Cool. We'll give that to Nenio to hold. Because that's going to be useful for her. Wand of Remove Disease, we don't need to worry about. Sigil of something, we can get a circumstance bonus to skill checks. Yeah, okay, don't need to worry about that. Right. So we've been through all this. Let's go to the cellar and get rid of some of these things that we don't need anymore. Like the +1 hooked hammer. Actually, we'll keep the flail. I'm going to sell the hand axe because I don't really like the idea of hurting us. I'm going to keep the shield in case. Yeah, that seems fine. Deal. Extra 4,000. Let's go put them in our box. Right. So I know it's been a lot of leveling so far, but needed to be done. A lot of leveling, a lot of equipping. Oh, grab that back, just in case we need to have it with us when we use it. Put these all in here. Right. That's much better. Let's do a quick save. Has everybody who has spells got spells assigned? Nope. Let's just see what other ones we got here for you. Maybe we'll go for a Searing Light there. Level 4. I don't know. All of these are fine. Yeah. I don't really know. Let's go for another Holy Smite for just now, even though they're very difficult to use. Maybe we'll just put, maybe Cure Critical Wounds or something. We're not really using them right now. I just really want him to have spells in case we do use them. Or decide that we need to use him or he's put in our party or whatever. There you go. Something like that seems good. Right. Ember, you don't need to choose spells, I think. Yep. Camellia, you do. I think I did something like this. Yeah. Here you can take another one of these, so actually Restoration's probably worth bringing along anyway. If we brought you along, that seems fine. You don't need to choose spells. Nenio, you should have all of yours because you were a member of our party. Yep. Rachel doesn't have spells. Lan does not have spells. Right. So, let's rest, and then we can go around camp and speak to people. This is fine. We can scribe a scroll if we wanted to. I don't think we need to, really. Although we could. Is there anything in here that we need? I guess I could, if I got the Scroll Scriber's kit, I could get some of these. But none of them are particularly what I'm looking for. What I really need for scrolls are things like Remove Paralysis. Have we got any removes in here? You just don't really know them. You're the wrong person to be scroll scribing. You can't scribe scrolls yet. Who can scribe scrolls? Can you scribe scrolls? No. Yeah, it's just basically Nenio. Okay, well, we'll just ignore it then. Well, or, like, let's put Nenio in here, and then we can cook something amazing. Okay, what are we going to cook? I don't know, probably just a buff on rolls, I guess. +3 cooking bonus on all skill checks for a day. Sure, let's do that. Sounds like that could be useful. Rest. The mystery woman without a past. It is rather tantalizing. That Camellia or... Oh, no, it's Nenio. Oh, you fall into the 1% of those surveyed who find amnesia sexually arousing. Thank you. Your contribution to my data is much appreciated. Alright then. Sure. Right. So now, once we've rested, now we need to start getting rid of the negatives. Although, yeah, Bless is now overwritten by mass potage. Yeah, now we need to get rid of all of these skill check negatives. Scrolls of Restoration. which I, for some reason, decided not to use previously. Wait, are you actually overloaded? It's just saying you're encumbered at all, or... Do I need to try and reduce what he's carrying? He doesn't need the dagger on him, and that'll help. Not really, but, you know, a little bit. You also... You're not overweight. No, you're fine. Yeah. Yeah, I think you're both fine. I mean, you're on medium, which is a little annoying, but there's not a lot I could do without just removing the chain shirt. I could do that, at which point you're fine, but... Having armor is nice, in theory. Yeah, the only problem is the fatigue time, but I think that's still okay. Yeah, having the armor class is just much nicer. Okay. Yeah, you need to get your levels back, so let's do some of these as well. And again, everybody else got their levels where they should be? Yes, I believe so. Right. Quick save. We have now got ourselves back to normality. So now we can go and talk to everybody and see what they have to say about things. Let's start with Nevia. She might be able to tell us about this spy that I think is around. Nope. She does not care. Oh, what did I do? I think I clicked too many times. Also, Regil, you're going to be out of our party for Camellia, because I need somebody with... Ah, but you're too good on your damage rolls. Be a take. Nenio out for Regil. Then we have too many in the front line. I want to take us out for Regil. I'd have to take Seela out, I guess. She's kind of been in our party the whole time. I don't know, maybe we go with this and we just have too many in the front line. That's fine. I didn't really want to leave yet, actually. I wanted to go back in there. Yes, back in there. Apologies. I did want to choose the party, but I didn't want to actually leave. I wanted to talk to everybody. We also have books to read as well, on top of all of this. Right, so. Hey, Lan, you got anything to say? Really, nobody has anything to say. Rachel, surely you have something to say. Okay. Ember?
Follow me.
Huh. Nobody wants to talk about this at all, huh? Nura? The obvious person who betrayed us? Yeah. When the gargoyles attacked the camp, what were you doing with that vial of alchemist fire near my tent? Forgive me, Commander. She looks at the ground. Despite everything, I'm still quite unsuited to war. I belong in a library somewhere, not on the battlefield. When those beasts fell from the sky, I panicked. The fire, the screams, the monsters, the chaos. I ran to you because I could see you knew what to do. As for the vial, that was completely stupid. I wanted to arm myself with something. But I knew fire wouldn't work on demons. Why did I grab the alchemist fire and not something that would actually work? I don't know. It's not my first time in the wound, but I still haven't learned how to fight. Enough lies, Nura. It's time to tell me the truth about what you're doing in this army. You want to know the truth? Her face cringes painfully. Here's the truth. I hate all of you. If I'd been there the day Areelu Vorlesh opened the rift to the abyss, I would have gladly handed her the ingredients for the ritual. I put the pheromone-soaked cloth in your pocket. Wanted those hellbugs to eat your smug face off. I was the one who set the tents on fire that night. I told the gargoyles who to grab. Every day I was in your army, I did all I could to hurt you. All the things I would gladly do to you, and it would be but a thousandth of what you deserve. She hides her face behind her, in her hands. When I was 8, I was auctioned off like livestock. They used a stick to train me to obey, like livestock. Did the paladins of Mendev help me? Of course not. When we passed through a Mendevian city, none of the warriors of good lifted a finger to set me free. Slavers aren't demons after all. Nura looks up and stares at you with her eyes red with tears. The first time I came to the wound, I wasn't seeking adventure. My owner dragged me here on a leash. You think the demons bribed me? I was happy to betray him. Without a shadow of a doubt, expecting nothing in return, I poured a sleeping potion into their soup pot, opened the gate and waited for the demons to come and tear them all to pieces, and me along with them. I didn't care. But the demons saw the real me. They made me a cultist. They offered me a chance for revenge. I'm here for revenge. I only want one thing. For the demons to devour you all. You, your queen, all your heroic knights, And after that, the whole world can burn. Burn for all I care. Ah, the first mythic path one we've had that is locked off from us. So this is the trickster one that we failed to get in Canabris, but of course I had no idea that I was failing to get it at the time. So we can free her, we can kill her, we can say she has to have a trial, or I'm sorry you were so badly treated, but why do you want revenge on us? We're your friends. I think we just send her to a trial, honestly. She, like, completely, yeah, like, she has committed quite a crime. I mean, in my head, I'm like, but we could get more story if she hangs around. But I'm like, really, we should just send her for a trial. Yeah. There'll be no trial. A vicious grin crosses her face. You still don't understand. The only law for mortals now is the whims of the demon lords, from now until the end of time, which draws ever closer. Ah, she would have done this no matter what, I think. Just pieced out. Nura snatches the wand from her belt, waves it quickly, and disappears into a portal. Yep. It's Dimension Door. She can't have gone too far. She must be nearby. No, I think she's... Yeah, I think she's gone. Okay. Well, we got some XP for calling her out, but not too much else on that then. Queen, you want to say anything? Nope. Alright. Gonna keep your trinket, because it's very useful. Anyone over here have anything to say? Horgus, you got anything new for us? Nope. Camellia? Nope. Okay. Do you have anything new? If I speak to you again? Nope. Can I see... no, I can't ask what people are thinking.
Onwards.
Thought I could come to him and check that, but I guess not. Must have been a one-time thing. Hello. Aha! Good afternoon, Commander. How can I help you? Have you gotten used to your new powers? Such power. It's like I'm a young priest again, taking the first steps in service to the goddess. When Shaylin first entrusted me with the power to heal the wounded, I was so afraid to touch anyone with these hands, and I didn't wash them for a week until my mother took me by the ear and led me to the wash basin. The cleric smiles, a broad, boyish smile. Of course, the powers you gave me are far stronger than those granted to a novice cleric, stronger than most clerics ever receive. It is not my duty to feel proud of them, but to use them in service of others, and to ensure what happened in Canabris, what happened to my brothers in faith, will never happen again. Did you think about what the Hell Knight told you? Yes. Soasil shakes his head. Another dead end. I still know nothing. How could Trevor have parted with his shield? I can't imagine. You must believe in your brother. If he gave away this shield, it means he had a good reason. I do believe it, I do. But what could have made him part with our family relic? You know, it's not only the Hell Knights who have told me the truth. It's not only the Hell Knights who told me the truth. Knight Tirabade refused to tell me anything about my brother's fate while I was serving in Canabris. But after these events, she finally broke her silence, and the things she told me... Soasil shakes his head. That he was a good fighter but a terrible knight and an utterly worthless paladin. He became more and more cruel as time went on. He started caring more about destroying the enemy than protecting the innocent. He gushed over Prelate Hulrun and his witch hunts. Eventually the goddess's patience wore thin. When he beat up some poor fellow for blasphemy, Shaylin took away Trevor's powers. That was a huge blow for him. He left the city, asking only that his disgrace be kept a secret from his family. That's why Urbeth didn't say anything earlier. Brother, my brother, but how? He's always been kind, merciful. Where could this cruelty have come from? What do you think of your brother's fate now? I can't wrap my head around what I've learned. As if we're talking about a different person altogether. How could he? Why did he give his shield to that she-devil in black armor? Oh, Shaylin, let this be a mistake. Okay. Interesting. Darren? No, okay. Thought we had a breakthrough, Darren, but I guess we didn't. Okay. Field Medic's tent. You're still alive? Cool. Oh, yes, of course, we have a new person in charge. Commander! A slim young man, almost a boy, holding a shepherd's staff in his hands, looks at you with admiration and awe. He seems unsure whether to salute you or drop to his knees. Hesitantly, he simultaneously raises his hand in salute as he bends in a deep bow. Who are you? My name is Kaido, Commander. Kaido the Shepherd from Lastwall. I'm from humble stock, village born and bred. I used to watch over the sheep. And once, when I was a boy, a cleric passed through our village. Old Yod was his name. Hey, I think that Yod, he was a cleric in Kingmaker, I think. He was a kind man. He gave me an apple, looked me in the eye and told me, "You've got a pure boy, a pure soul, boy. I see you're going to serve Areelu, just like myself." There's no way I could be a cleric. I don't even know the letters. When I heard of your crusade, my heart told me to join you, so I did. I may not know how to fight, but I can still help the warriors, heal their wounds, and comfort their suffering souls. I ran away from home in the dead of night, taking nothing with me, and came here. Since then, Areelu started to give me spells, just like a real cleric. So that's how I came here, the boy sighs. At first, I just helped Honourable Rathamus, and then, since he's been gone, oh, woe is me. What kind of help can I expect from you? After Honourable Rathamus was gone, I was put in charge of the scrolls here. There's so many different ones. If you need, I can read them too, but only here at camp. If you go on an adventure, you better take another cleric with you, a stronger one. Just don't think it's because I'm scared. I'm not. It's only that I'd get in your way. I see you're attending the altar now. The young man casts a glance at the altar of Abadar and sighs. I know it's not exactly the done thing for a priest of Areelu to tend an altar of Abadar, but what else can I do? I can't leave our soldiers without protection from the corruption of the abyss, can I? And I can't leave the esteemed Rathamus's work unfinished. Alright, you got anything new? Like, yeah, thanks for speaking to me, but you got any new stuff for me? Perception and trickery, very nice. This is not new, this is all stuff we've seen before, but yeah, it's very nice. Okay. We can get +1 to caster level on scrolls and potions. I do kind of want to buy the scroll scribing kits as well, potentially. Although, the thing is, like, even though I want to buy them, I really want people to be able to craft divine scrolls, so the rest of it doesn't really matter. Got anything else to sell you? Nope. Okay, cool. Oh, you know what? We can sell you the dagger that we've got. Thank you. See ya. Right. So it said he was tending the altar, so I assume that means something's changed in the chapel tent. And the altar of Abadar. So this is R1 of Iomade, I think. Maybe? Or is that the Abadar one? I don't know. It doesn't really matter. There's nothing new in here. Right. Leave here. Continue exploring. There isn't that many more people to speak to. We've only got Sela, I think. Yeah. Hey, Sela. Anything new? No? Okay. And that is everyone but Hilor. Alright, Hilor shouldn't have anything new either, but we'll check. Yep. Nothing. Okay. Well, I've been everywhere, spoken to everybody, so I guess it's time to read our books and then put them away. Right, Commander's tent. Back in here. Book time. So, first of all, let's get rid of any books that we have already read. Do a filter by type as well. Cool. So, books we've read can go away. So, Battle in the Valley of Fire. Battle in the Valley of Fire we have read. This one, Crusade Chronicles. I don't believe we've read Crusade Chronicles. Nope. Okay, next one. Eternal Sunshine, A Pilgrim's Journey. We have also not read that. Okay. Fairy Tales of Avastin. I'm sure we've read that. Haven't we? Yes, yes we have. I have 2 of these. Yes, I'm sure I've read these as well. The bonuses again. Yes, these give us bonuses against certain creatures, so we can get rid of them. Right, Know Thy Enemy, A Crusader's Brief. Nope. Not read that one. Night of the Witch. I don't think we've read that one. Don't recognize it. Nope. Okay, The Basics of Sin Magic. Definitely haven't read that one. Nature of the Divine. Very much read it. Sarkoris Lost. Haven't read that. Secret Overlords, The Essence of World Order. No. Don't have any books that look like that. Curse of Ancient Aerobia. Nope. And History of the Worldwound. I think we might have read History of the Worldwound. But as it turns out, I would think incorrectly. We have not read it. Nice. Okay, let's open this up, get to our books, and get to reading. So let's start with Crusade Chronicles. In the year 4606, the expanses of Sarkoris were tainted by the swollen abscess of colossal proportions that was the Worldwound. A tear between Golarion and the Abyss that let thousands upon thousands of demons onto the material plane. In the long years that followed, the Khelids of Sarkoris either fled or fell, outmatched while fighting for their home. In the year 4622, the Church of Iomedae announced the beginning of the First Crusade, a blessed war against the demons that had destroyed Sarkoris and now threatened neighbouring lands. Valiant warriors led by Queen Galfrey herself pushed the Abyssal servants away from their borders and returned home victorious. The year 4630 marked the end of the First Crusade. Numerous fortresses and garrisons were established in those years in the former Sarkorian lands, the outposts duty-bound to watch over Mendev's borders. After 8 years, in 4638, the Worldwound suddenly expanded to 4 times its previous size, unleashing new monstrous hordes. The worst of the blows suffered by the Crusaders was the loss of Dresden, a fortress city that used to serve as a base for many a military operation. The Second Crusade was called, which claimed countless lives yet never resulted in victory. Only with the creation of the Ward Stones was the demon invasion stopped, as the lucent Iomedae's magic stood as an impenetrable wall, blocking the invaders' path. In the year 4645, after 7 years of arduous and mirthless war, the Second Crusade came to an end. The Third Crusade was declared in 4665. This time the Crusaders were fighting a war within their own ranks as well. Over the years, many Abyss-serving cultists and spies had found their ways past Mendevian defences. The Third Crusade reached an apex of an inquisition that mercilessly plunged heresy and demon worship by fire and sword, or purged heresy and demon worship by fire and sword. The Crusade was called off in 4668 after atrocities of interrogators had provoked sufficient upheaval and discontent among the populace. The Fourth Crusade was instigated by demons in the year 4692, when they broke through the protective barrier of the Ward Stones. With righteous fury, the champions of Mendev fought the demons for 15 years, aiming to put an end to the old threat. But, by the conclusion of the Fourth Crusade, which ended in 4707 due to a shortage of supplies and manpower, decisive victory was just as remote a possibility as it had been for all the previous Crusades. Okay, so just a brief history. Fair enough. Next, Eternal Sunshine, A Pilgrim's Journey. I failed to resist temptation and quickly doused my weary feet in the holy waters of the oasis. I washed my feet off first, for it would never do to desecrate a divine font with the dust of the road. The sunset danced upon the surface of the water. I closed my eyes and, as my flesh went numb, in yearning anticipation of a miracle. On the road, pain had gnawed at my heart, but now it melted into the holy water and my sores seemed to fade away. I looked into my heart and questioned the purity of my thought. Was I worthy enough to escape my torment? Would Sarenrae give me a sign? I was prepared to greet the sound of flapping dove wings. The fever overwhelmed me. I sensed the divine rays, but the sun had set. The light was coming through my eyelids. I witnessed the figures of Sarenrae and her angels. I dared open my eyes, but they were heavy, as if burdened with all the weight of the sun's heat. Sleep dawned upon me. Okay, so just a little side story. Know Thy Enemy, a Crusader's Brief. Published by the Brotherhood of Crusader Adherents. Remember, Crusader, your foes are many, and each one is devious in his own way. In the lands of the Worldwound, 2 demonic masters rule. Learn to distinguish their influence and their followers. Deskari, a demon lord who commands locusts and other crawling pests. It is an all-devouring wave that sweeps away all that is bright, majestic, and pure, leaving nothing but decay and leaving behind nothing but decay and ashes. Apologies. There's been a lot of reading, and I have noticed I'm stumbling more. Apologies for that. Anyway, for 100 years, this evil fiend and his lackeys have been sowing death and suffering across Golarion, sending one horde after another through the Worldwound and onto our plane. Deskari's visage is hideous, for his essence is a horrid crossbreed of humanoid and insect, and behind his back are fluttering wings woven from swarms of insects. Born of two demons, Deskari despises both his brethren that were once mortal and his own human followers. Knowing of this disdain, the cleverest of his cultists seek ways to transform themselves into full-blooded demons, and, to this end, they attempt some of the vilest experiments on their own flesh. Deskari has been behind the horrors of the Worldwound ever since its creation. However, the other demon lord, Baphomet, joined him only at the onset of the Third Crusade. The goat-headed demon lord is cunning and slippery, and where his unholy kin makes his way through brute force, Baphomet prefers deceit, corruption, and backstabbing. Many noble houses trying to preserve their veneer of exalted dynasties keep to the worship of Baphomet as a family tradition. In truth, the cultists who call themselves Templars of the Ivory Labyrinth are searching day and night for weaknesses in the Crusader ranks, a doubtful mind to corrupt, a wavering heart to break, an ember of cowardice to fan. Beware of the cultists of Baphomet, for they may be standing next to you, looking over your shoulder and laughing when you are reading. Oh, okay. Night of the Witch by Maki Vanos. Sarkorian refugees, driven from their home, tried to get as far away from the demon-corrupted lands as they could. Many of them, exhausted from their long travels or just unable to find acceptance among local residents, stayed outside already existing settlements. These communities remain to this day, and they all share a certain curious tradition. The celebration was seemingly established at the same time in all Sarkorian enclaves, even in the most distant ones. The event bears several names: Night of the Witch, Vorlesh's Verdict, Bonfire Night, among others. The preparations began several days in advance. The adults craft an enormous effigy of the most hated servant of the Abyss, the witch Areelu Vorlesh, who opened a tear between two planes and thus earned the titles Architect of the Worldwound and Betrayer of Humanity. The children, who are usually relieved of their chores or from their chores, gather kindling in a nearby forest. Instead, they might ask their neighbours for some wood, traditionally voicing their request in the form of concern. They need something to warm the witch's feet. On the appointed day, the crowd places the effigy on a pole in the centre of the settlement or neighbourhood, where everyone can throw mud at it until sunset. At nightfall, cheers erupt as Areelu Vorlesh's effigy burns to ash. It's worth noting that effigy incineration is so akin to an atrocious method of execution that guards and other enforcers often observe these festivities with great suspicion. However, any claims of the Sarkorians burning those suspected of demon worship in the place of an effigy are idle flights of fancy lacking substance. What's interesting about this is that it was established at the same time. That's kind of a weird thing, but it might just be a coincidence. On the basics of sin magic. The roots of sin magic are in the 7 virtues of rule laid down by Archmage Zin, sovereign of the Thessaliolian Empire. According to his teachings, the virtues, charity, generosity, humility, kindness, love, temperance, and zeal, were once a gift from one of the supreme goddesses of the empire, Lysala. Only just and wise rulers would be deemed worthy of receiving these high rewards. A metamorphosis, however, turned the 7 virtues into 7 sins. In Thessalion, the 7 strongest mages named Rune Lords had been made governors of each part of the vast empire that had grown beyond one human's control. Emperor Zin's reign ended when he died at the hands of his own stewards. With the emperor deposed and a puppet installed as his replacement, these Rune Lords became the true masters of their territories. Plotting against each other and warping Zin's tenets, the mages gradually perverted the 7 virtues, becoming manifestations of these corrupt aspects. Greed, lust, pride, gluttony, envy, wrath, and sloth set into the lands of Thassilon, plunging the empire into the depths of depravity and profligacy, causing it to crumble from the inside. And even though Earthfall brought about the end of the nation, it did not put an end to the Rune Lords' misdeeds, for each of them had foreseen the calamity and did all in their power to prevent their death in the disaster that destroyed Thassilon. Okay, so is how Thassilon fell? We haven't heard much about it, so I assume we'll hear more later, or never hear about it again. Right. Sarkoris Lost. Absalom, published by the Foray Logos Archaeological Society. In the middle of the plateau that forms central Sarkoris was the location of the region's capital, the city of Iz, the country's metallurgical heart. The rich mineral deposits of these lands had been known to the Kelid since ancient times, and over the long centuries plenty of mines and workshops had sprung up here, and their output flowed into Iz. From here, traders led their heavily loaded caravans to other parts of Sarkoris and beyond. Many a wonder crafted by the Kelids over the years of their capital's prosperity disappeared without a trace, with the demonic invasion and Iz's destruction. Local artisans were the most skillful in their trade, which can be seen through the surviving works of the weaponsmithing, jewellery making and metal casting arts. And while silver headdresses with ornate temple rings and lightweight sabres with hilts bearing their owners' initials can be seen, found in museums and private collections, other handcrafted examples of Iz's legacy are lost forever. Specifically, we, of course, only know of architectural landmarks of both secular and sacred variety through scarce descriptions. While local stonecutters were recognised throughout all Sarkoris, as many palaces, temples, monuments decorating other cities were made by the hands of artisans from Iz. Okay. So, there's just a little bit on Sarkoris. Secret overlords, the essence of world order. Until recently, we knew this world as it was described in books and stories. You know what? I realised why I recognise the name of this book. This one's from Kingmaker, right? Because I think it was from Kingmaker, because I think we found about 1 million of them around the place. Anyway, a sewer torn apart by hyenas that separates us with nations and borders, oppress us with extortion and lies, and assert their authority and power. However, someone else's hand rules these slaves who act like masters. It's a threat far more intimidating than a handful of arrogant fools. Our lands are secretly ruled by ancient creatures of Golarion, the inhabitants of ever-dark depths who know both past and future. Also, I think we've read it in this playthrough as well. People are led along paths they cannot see and do not have the power to leave, to an end known only to the hidden masters. I think it should say known only to either the hidden masters or our hidden masters. Some insist that the signs are purely coincidental, but they point to a vast conspiracy. Only a fool can fail to see how the myriad coincidences weave into a giant cobweb, or they've submitted their very will and sworn their allegiance to our unseen masters in the depths. That's the one where I thought it was talking about the players and game masters and things. Right. Sister of Mercy, Memoirs of the Second Crusade, by Nilan Malkister, Magnimar, Silverbank Spiritual Literature Publishing House. We gather again for the common evening prayer in the field chapel, all together setting aside our disagreements, or rather politely pretending to have forgotten them. Arrows of sharp looks flies around the tent. The servants of Sarenrae look askance at the servants of Asmodeus. The priests of Gorum who come to the prayer in armour covered with blood make no attempt to conceal their disdain for those such as me, who are not rushing to the front lines of the battle. Now what can I do if my weak soft hands have been taught gentleness, not violence? I catch a glimpse of a priestess of Shalon, squeamish, compassionate surely, and full of prim smugness. She would never stoop to do what I do for our fighters, but I know of no higher service. Some fellow believers told me that during the times of war we must forget the tender side of the savoured sting and turn entirely to our formidable punishing image, for there is no place for love on the battlefield. But I do not agree. Here everyone is ready to punish, but who if not us will bring love? We kneel and I pray to the unquenchable fire, my lady, and take my eyes, for they can no longer witness the horrors of the war, nor see the beautiful bodies broken and torn asunder. No longer can they cry for our allies, friends, and lovers. And the goddess replies, my child, your eyes are a priceless treasure. As a lighthouse safely guides ships back to land during this storm, the light in your eyes brings heroes back from the bloody storm of battle. And I pray, my lady, so shut my lips, for I can no longer kiss the skin which I know by dawn will be sliced, bitten and peeled. And the goddess replies, my child, your lips are stronger than a sword and firmer than armor plate. The whisper of your prayer gives strength to the fighters and brings burning fire to the demons. The whisper of your prayer heals broken skin, and you may kiss it again. And I pray, my lady, burn out my heart, let it find peace in the indifferent ash, for it can no longer withstand this pain. And the goddess replies, my beloved child, this pain is caused by the fire that burns in your heart. a fire so bright that everyone around it is comforted by its healing warmth. Do not dare turn to ash, but carry this heat to the very threshold of my chambers, where in the end you will find peace. I believe that this is Sarenrae. Is that the goddess that she's praying to? I think that's right. Can I check my encyclopedia for it? No. Let me have a look in here while I take a drink. Do we have lore on all of these creatures, or just stat lines? Just stat lines. Okay, interesting. Yeah, so I don't think it has, yeah, I don't think it has gods in here. Okay, that's fine. Just thought I'd check. Right, where did I leave us off? This one. The Curse of Ancient Iobaria by Hastef Ume. Tell us, O teacher, why would Brevoy call us barbarians in the books you gave us? The gods became angry with our homeland, my son. This land has devoured so many great empires, as if it was unwilling to bear life. There are centuries-old ruins around our settlement. They were ravaged by a star that fell from the sky. The kingdom of the Cyclops was the first victim of its curse. New settlers claimed this land 10 centuries later to establish a beautiful country named Iobaria, which stretched from the Lake of Mists and Veils to the Castrovan Sea. But the curse still lay upon these lands, and trouble came once again. Our ancestors suffered numerous maladies: the tear plague, the Shar death, the choking death, one after another, leaving only pain behind. People say Otib, the necromancer, was to blame. But who knows, a great civilization was turned to dust, and that's why I'm teaching you. Brevoy shouldn't make fun of you or call you barbarians. Okay, was that related to Kingmaker? I think it was, as I think we might have read more of that in Kingmaker. Then we get more history of the Worldwound. Okay. Nerosian, published by the Royal Court of Mendev. Demons and their worshippers have long been active in the vicinity of Sarkoris, even back in the year 4433. The abyssal hordes and Arodin himself waged a grand battle in the region now known as the Worldwound. The forces of good had triumphed then, as the god of humanity defeated Deskari's minions and drove the surviving demons back straight into the waters of the Lake of Mists and Veils. Why did the denizens of the Abyss have such a keen interest in the northern reaches of Avastin? To the dismay of all mortal kind, Areelu Vorlesh answered this question and has consequently gone down in history as the architect of the Worldwound and betrayer of humanity. Born of humans, this fiend felt such hatred towards her own kind and was filled with such boundless selfishness that, for the sake of ascension and power, she pledged herself to the Abyssal Lords. An adept of the arcane, jailed by Sarkorins in the prison fortress of Threshold, she accomplished something that the Deskarites who perished in the lake had failed previously. She ripped apart the planar fabric that had been thin in Sarkoris since days of yore. Her thought and will thoroughly corrupted to mirror the foulest depths of the Abyss, Areelu Vorlesh forged a deplorable alliance with Deskari and began hatching the heinous plan that she put into motion in the year 4606. It was then that Areelu and her accomplices performed the ritual that cut open creation itself like a knife and left a festering tear in the material plane that would never heal. The Worldwound connecting Golarion with the Abyss. By a tragic coincidence, or perhaps by some evil intent, the Worldwound was created mere weeks after Arodin's death. Billions of Arodin's followers and priests around the world were filled with horror and despair normally reserved for orphaned children, partially explaining why humanity did not realize there and then the sheer threat of the newly opened Sarkoran portal. Taking advantage of turmoil of the mortal world, Deskari drove his forces to attack the defenseless Sarkoris, and Areelu Vorlesh, who had been rewarded for her betrayal, started on her path towards demonic existence. Okay. We read a lot, we learned a couple of new things, so 3 new things, so we get 3 new buffs. What are the 3 new buffs? Crusade Chronicles. This book grants 10 hit points! That's actually really good! Okay. +1 bonus on perception and skill checks, and stealth skill checks and history of the Worldwound. A bonus on lore religion and lore nature skill checks. Oh, like really good. Just fantastic as a selection of things to have. Yeah, like lore nature's like fantastic as well now. Although actually it doesn't say that we're getting a bonus to this. Yeah. Lore religion, are we getting that? We are getting that from History of the Worldwound. I don't think lore nature is actually getting the bonus. Yeah. Perception is also not getting a bonus. Okay. Yeah. Oh, we should give our imp to someone else as well while I'm here. There you go. Crusader Chronicles plus 10. Nice. We should give our imp to Camellia right now, because she is going to be the person who is going to be doing all the trickery and stealth checks. Right. Quick save. We've talked to everybody. We've read all of our... Oh, you know what? Put our books away as well, just to reduce the amount that we're carrying. That's much better. We're no longer carrying along a lot of unnecessary stuff, just some unnecessary stuff. So we have read everything, right? Oh, we have one more book. Zacharias Toward Eternity. Okay. The forced reclusion that once seemed a curse to me is becoming more bearable now I have access to materials to work with. In my current straitened circumstances, my only diversion lies in scientific endeavor and exercising my mental faculties. Creating witless undead from crude components is the preserve of ignoramuses incapable of conceiving an original thought. With the application of even the barest effort and magic, any necromancer can unlock the true potential of our art. But availing oneself of the school of transmutation, several incomplete bodies can be turned into a single construct that markedly improves upon the capabilities of the raw material. However, even the most ambitious mages pursuing this path of necromancy rarely decide to take that final step and transform themselves in the same fashion as their own creations. Why? What drives such a powerful revulsion to undeath among those whose life is criminally short? Perhaps the reason is fear of the gods, whose will these mages violate when they dare to meddle in the supreme order of things. Perhaps the instinctive disgust that arises when encountering eternal travelers is the death in death is caused by the decay and desiccation of the corporeal sheath. Perhaps it is sentimental attachments that weaken the resolve. Not every mortal is capable of ascending to lichdom. Each one of us who has attained such a state has travelled an entirely distinct path from that of our peers, but we were untied by one and the same goal, to which we drew nearer with all inevitability of a knife hurtling towards a heart. In truth, ascension begins not with the knowledge of the art of creating a phylactery, nor with the books on advanced necromancy, but with the creation of an imitable and incorruptible ideal in the mage's soul, the ideal of immortality. We learned something new from the book. Ooh, what did we learn? +1 on DC on a spell of competency bonus to DC on a spell of the death descriptor. I think that's when I'm trying to apply death to someone else. Interesting. And that's all the books. That is all the books. Right. We are now ready to head out. So thank you for watching. I'm going to end the episode here, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.